Welcome back to another episode of the Business Corner. I'm your host, Teresa Lundy. Welcome, Donovan, to the Business Corner.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Good. So tell the listening audience a little bit about yourself and about what type of work that you are doing for the Mayor's Administration under the Business Roundtable.
So I've been a business developer, business advocate, consultant, advisor for a long time in some capacity or another. I remember working back in the day with Philadelphia Development Partnership and Chester Microenterprise Partnership, supporting small businesses. But I also have a background in the nonprofit space as well, as the COO of People for People, faith-based, community-based nonprofit that had a number of different moving parts: preschool, charter school, fatherhood program, reentry programs, a number of different things. And then left People for People and transitioned over to the African American Chamber of Commerce for Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, where I was this president CEO. Since then, going into the private space deeper as a business advisor and consultant, standing up a business called Culturally Congruent Solutions and a nonprofit called BBA, Black Business Accelerators. So, very much an advocate for business advancement, growth, engagement, leadership development, a number of different things. In 2024, right, when we experienced a very historic event, right, first Black woman mayor of Philadelphia,
Yes.
I was honored to get tapped on the shoulder to start up the Mayor's Business Roundtables. And for those who were following her during her campaign, she talked about creating the Mayor's Business Roundtables because she saw there was a gap when it came to a relationship with the administration from the business community. And there wasn't one, really, to be honest. So the mayor wanted to make sure that the business community had a government that they can see, touch, and feel. And that's where the Mayor's Business Roundtables was created. In the first year, we created 9 industry sector roundtables. They consist of, let me get them right, okay, Center City Rejuvenation, all the chambers of commerce and business advocacy organizations, Capital. You had construction and development as well, Eds and Meds, entertainment, sports, and arts. You had workforce development, insurance access and wellness, and biomedical innovation. I think I got them all.
Sounds good.
I think so. Hopefully, your fact checkers will get it right, right? So the goal of those roundtables was to not just establish a direct line of communication between the business community and the mayor's administration, but also to make sure that we were fostering public-private partnerships in ways that were outside of just infrastructure deals, but more so creating more dimension to that and establishing also a relationship where we could be proactive and not reactive, meaning when there was a crisis or an opportunity, then reaching out to the business community, but instead having an existing participatory partnership with the business community and being able to identify some great opportunities for growth, as well as, when we need to huddle up in case of crisis. Yeah. And as you would imagine, in the city of Philadelphia, there's no shortage of that.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I love is that you've been tapped. I think you were the right person to get tapped from your experience from people to people, to your own business, to the AACC. I think that the audience understands that you know business. And some of that, I think a lot comes with your leadership style. So I would love for you to talk about what your leadership style is as you're having these roundtable discussions with small businesses across the city.
I'm glad you asked the question. My master's is in organizational leadership. And I remember when we were covering different leadership styles, I went into a rabbit hole and literally for the next couple of years started studying different leadership styles. And what I realized is that in leadership, there was it was rare to engage with leaders that really, truly listen. And so from my days of working at and leading, being part of the leadership at People for People, a faith-based, community-based organization, I learned a lot about servant leadership, right? And so my philosophy is I listen to lead. And listening is a love language because you demonstrate love by listening to whoever it is that you're loving on. And I love on my, colleagues in a way that, I think most times they're not really getting that love anywhere else. Yeah. By listening, like literally hearing them and not saying, well, because I have the degrees or this background or this title, you're just going to listen to what I say. But instead, I'm sure you have some great insights you can provide me that can help me, steer us through these challenging times. So listening is my leadership style. The goal is, at the end of the day, is I'm pretty sure if I listen good enough, I can identify what's important to you and use some of that also, right, to inspire you to give me the best that you have when it comes to, showing up every day.
I love that. And I think that brings me to my next question about the initiatives that you guys are working on under the business Roundtable under Mayor Parker's leadership.
Yeah, and speaking of listening, I love the fact that the mayor tapped me on the shoulder and had the vision to, create a space where the business community can know that they have a voice, right? That's extremely important. And so mostly what we're doing is we're listening first, and then we're providing some response to that in terms of, here are some initiatives that actually underscore why your voice is so important. When we talk about the Mayor's Business Action Team, MBAT, that came out of the Open for Business goal that the mayor wanted to establish in the business community. And so there was an executive order that was issued early last year, spring last year. And in that Open for Business executive order, the focus was on, again, getting back to the business community, people that can actually help them navigate the actual resources that we say we have available, right? So it's not enough to know that there are programs or services, but how do I actually access them?
Correct.
Can someone help me navigate them so that I can actually adopt them, apply them, and then actually, get value? So when we talk about some of the tax issues that the city may be experiencing, part of the challenge really is that I'm not seeing the value for what I'm investing in the city. I think what the mayor did by way of establishing the executive order and then recreating the MBAT team is by now providing value to the business community in ways that is very tangible. So Michelle Price, I have to give her a shout out. Yeah. Celine Wilson, I got to give them both a shout out because they are amazing. I interact with them literally every week, talking about the needs of the business community, and they are highly responsive. And the business community is now starting to see, I guess what the mayor had in mind when she talked about Open for Business is not just about a door open, it's about who's welcoming you in.
So I love that. I love whoever's doing the marketing behind it for the Open for Business. Can you tell us a little bit about what the response is that you're hearing at these tables, from small businesses? And, tell me the years. I just celebrated 10 years in business.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so I want to know, what are the years of businesses that are sitting at this table? Is it 2 years in? How much resources are these individuals getting at the different lengths of their business?
Yeah, so it depends, right? You have, I call the 3 E's, right? Whether you're in the embryonic stage, the emerging stage, or established stage of your business, making sure that you have services available to address you at every turn. And it's important because, when we are having a conversation with a business owner, we want to know, where are you really at? Yeah. It's not about just access to capital. We need to have a conversation. Well, is this the right time? It's not just about, I want to expand into this other building. Yeah. Well, is it the right time, right? And are you going about it the right way? So I'm looking for a better lease. Well, why don't we talk about ownership, right? So having the conversation, the appropriate conversation with the business is very important. So there are services all along the line in terms of the business's, I guess, life cycle. Now, what I love is to really reimagine this term called ecosystem. Okay. And what I mean by that is that we talk often about having an ecosystem when it comes to the business space, but it's not about having services just for the ant, but also for the elephant, right? It's also about the mid-sized businesses that are interested in growing. It's also about making sure that it's enough of an ecosystem that it starts to attract business to Philadelphia. So we're not just about making sure our residents here are happy, but we also want to make sure that by way of them being happy, they can be the testimonials needed to attract others in their network, as well as when we are engaging with the Commerce Department, as well as the Chambers of Commerce in terms of their networks to engage more businesses to come to the city, that there are actual ambassadors now able to kind of confirm that what we're talking about, it's real.
I love that. And, 2026 is upon us. And so many opportunities are happening in terms of people gearing up, making sure that their back end is correct so they can actually achieve those type of contracts and opportunities. So what is the Roundtable doing to make sure that people have the resources and are getting ready to prepare to get these type of contracts?
We're working with our colleagues in the Commerce Department as well as the Office of Business Impact and Economic Advancement, as well as, of course, the Procurement Department to look at ways to streamline the process, make it more easier to adopt, apply, to navigate, as well as ensure that people know who can assist them along the way. You know, procurement is a very intimidating process, right? And even as we start talking about 2026, I mean, FIFA alone, right, is going to bring 500,000 people to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
It is estimated in terms of revenue, the city will receive between $700 and $800 million in revenue.
It's great.
Right? And I wish every one of them actually paid their taxes too, by the way. Just a little shout out to our
I pay mine.
I mean, so what does that mean? That means it's a ton of opportunity, but it's easy to also get lost, right? In just how huge it is. You know, when we're talking about World Trade Center coming, NCAAs, right? The PGAs, 250th anniversary, or what's the complicated way of saying it? Semi-cinquentennial? Did I get it?
Yeah, you did well.
Okay, good.
That's why I whispered it. But yes, you did. But yeah, all those things are coming. And of course, we had the announcement of the WNBA.
Yes.
So there are so many opportunities for people to not only use the city, and I just really love how you're bridging the gap here. Yes, Mayor Parker has the vision, but you also have to have the right team to really, execute the vision, right? So tell me about your team. Are they the ones in the field? Are they on the back end? What do they look like?
That is my team. I just now mentioned, like, the team is,
it's
Michelle. Oh, no. There's more. No, not at all. No, but what I'm saying is that we all work as a team because we're all getting information from different spaces. And, what is also part of Mayor Parker's vision is about, making sure that we no longer operate in these silos.
Yeah.
Very important. So I am having a conversation with Director of Procurement, Ron Hovey. I am having a conversation with Director of the Office of Business Impact and Economic Advancement, Nadir Jones, or the Office of business support. You got Darnell Thomas. I mentioned already Michelle Price and Celine Wilson from MBAT and Karen Fegley and others in leadership over at the Commerce Department. And on top of that, the roundtables themselves. I mean, we have 10 industry sector roundtables. We're about to start up our nonprofit roundtable with Lori Jones and Kelly Woodland.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that. So we are also leveraging the roundtables themselves also to provide not just insights and information, but also leverage their voice as a trusted voice in their business community to amplify what's happening in terms of access to resources and the people that are there to navigate. So everyone is my partner in that sense.
I love that.
And as being like the chief convener, collaborator, communicator in this area, we want to make sure that the mayor's vision for One Philly is really amplified, but more than amplified, is demonstrated.
I love that. One Philly, a city united.
There you go.
That's a term, and I really do see it, especially in this office, and especially being a small business leader myself. My last question for you has to do with you giving advice. If you were to give advice to small businesses, what would that look like, and what would you say?
Number one, I would say you belong. You belong here. It's okay. You may see some new banners up, and you may hear some different music where you're walking. It's okay. You belong in that room. You belong in that space. Number two is to do your homework. You got to do your homework. It's not enough that you got to that level. Now get back in the gym. Do your homework. Get it all done. I mean, the number one challenge that we're having, right, is making sure that we're checking off all the boxes when it comes to having a healthy business. So if you have someone that has a great business but they don't have any legal representation, fix it. If you have a great business but you're not certified as a local business entity, local business enterprise, fix it, right? If you need some assistance when it comes to your HR, your standard operating procedures, fix it. If you're not properly insured, fix it. Dot the I's, cross the T's, and get yourself ready for a yes, because 2026 is the year of the yes for the business community.
Well, you guys heard it first from Donavan West, the director of the Mayor's Business Roundtable. Thank you, Donovan, for sharing your insights.
Thank you for having me. And again, congratulations on 10 years and all that you're doing in the business community.
I appreciate you.
We
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
you.